So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil19 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Bandai Tamashii Nation's SH Figuarts Naruto Shippuden JIRAIYA. So let's get into it right away and start off with the box. So we do get a basic style box when it comes to the SH Figuarts Naruto line. So we do get the one right there in the front of the box. On the left side, we do get a nice image of the figure. On the right says SH Figuarts, and I believe in Japanese that does say JIRAIYA. On the bottom says Naruto Shippuden, warning, blah 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 blah, Tamashii Nations, and Bandai. And then here is the bottom of the box, just has an image of JIRAIYA's foot and leg there. And then here is the top of the box, and then the one side of it, and then the other side of the box with a nice image of the JIRAIYA figure there. And then the back of it does show a few poses you can get the figure into, along with some of the accessories. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this figure over to take a closer look at, spoilers, a character who had the saddest and most tragic death scene in Naruto. Alrighty, taking a closer detailed look, and Tamashii Nations did such an excellent job with this JIRAIYA. This is definitely one of the best figures in the SH Figuarts Naruto line. I do have a couple of issues. My main one is there's no shading on the figure at all, not even on the hair, so to me that is very disappointing. Another thing is I feel like my left leg, I can't shift it all the way up since we have the drop down leg joints, and I feel like it hangs a little bit lower compared to the right one. And then the last one is his hair and scroll. Mostly the scroll makes him a tad bit back heavy, but it's not as bad as you would think it would be. Now for the head sculpt here, I think the faces turned out great. They all look just like JIRAIYA from the anime, so awesome job with that. We do get the headband, very nice sculpt and paintwork on it. We do get the red lines under the eyes as well, and then his hair is one of my favorite parts about the figure. Very nice sculpt all throughout it. Like I said, shading just would have looked so much better on this figure, especially on the hair. They could have at least put some shading on the hair, you know what I mean? And then we do get the ponytail piece, which is a nice like metallic gold color, and then the ponytail is on like a barbell type joint, so you can articulate it all around. So I really love the way they did that, but very nice sculpt all throughout the ponytail here. Really looks very nice, so good job all throughout the head sculpt on JIRAIYA there, and he kind of looks like Sonic the Hedgehog or a Super Saiyan 3. Now for the torso here, we do get his maroon type vest, and they did a good job with it. Clean paintwork for the gold pieces there. We do get some sculpted wrinkles here and there all throughout it, and the ninja scroll turned out really cool too. I like the nice tiny sculpt detail on the rope, and the rope wrapped around it as well. And the paint's pretty clean on it wherever there is paint, but the sculpt of it does look really cool. Now for his gi on his torso, once again, very good sculpt work all throughout it. We do get some nice sculpted wrinkles here and there, and I love these like gunmetal gray pieces, these checkered patterns. I love the paintwork for that, and I like how all these squares are sculpted on there, so awesome job with that piece. We do get some sculpted wrinkles on his back as well. I don't know if you guys could see it under there. So you can see they did sculpt some wrinkles on the back of the torso as well. And then we do get some nice sculpted wrinkles all throughout the arm there on the sleeve. And then we do get that nice gunmetal gray part around the forearm and that checkered pattern as well. And then the lower portion of his gi here is a very soft rubbery type plastic. Same with the vest piece, so it doesn't really hinder as much articulation as you would think it does. It's probably as soft as Gar's robe in the SH Figuarts line, so I do like that they're still using this very soft rubbery type plastic for pieces like this. Now for the legs, we do get some very nice sculpted wrinkles all throughout the pants there, so awesome job with that. They even sculpted the knee joint on the back as well, and the knee joint looks pretty good, really no complaints there. And I do like the way the pants look bunched up around the mid lower leg right there. And then we do get that checkered pattern once again with that very cool gunmetal gray paint. And then we do get his very Japanese like sandals here, and I always loved these that JIRAIYA wore those. I thought they were pretty cool looking. But we do get some nice sculpt and paintwork around the toes. You can see the toenail sculpted on there, and the strap for the sandal looks pretty cool. They just missed a little bit of black paint on my right one. The left one's good though. And then the bottom of them, we do get some sculpt and paintwork on the bottom, so pretty cool actually. So overall, I think Tamashii Nations really knocked it out of the park with this JIRAIYA. Like I said, my main issue is there is no paint shading at all on the figure, which really would have made this figure that much better in my eyes. You know what I mean? Some people don't mind not having paint shading, but overall, like I said, they did an excellent job with the detail. But anyway, let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, we get a bunch of really cool stuff included with Pervy Sage. So we do get 4 alternate faces. We do get this one here that does come on the figure out of the packaging that we already took a look at before, and like I said, they did a very nice job with the paint and sculpt, and this is like the laughing, happy type face, so we do get that one. Then we do get like a smirking type face here, and once again, very nice job with the paint and sculpt, and they do have his mole sculpted on there right by his nose, so I thought that was pretty cool. Tiny little detail there, so we do get that one. And then we also get the winking, smiling type face, and once again, great job with the detail on the paint and sculpt there. And then finally, we get my favorite, the angry, teeth gritted face, and once again, great job with the paint and sculpt. And the way you interchange his faces, his bangs always come off with his face. So this piece here, you got a peg on the top of his face, like so. Let's get that on there, and then you just pop everything in at the same time. The bangs and the face, and then there you go, as simple as that. And when you want to take it off, just pull on the front of the hair and everything pops right off. So we do get those 4 alternate faces, and then we also get a book, some popsicles, and then we do get some crossed arms. And I always love when Tamashii Nations includes crossed arms with a figure, and very nice paint and sculpt all throughout the arms there, so really awesome job with that. And it's so easy to swap them out, just like with any other SH Figuarts figure that has crossed arms. You just pop it off at the bicep right there, and they do split apart like Gaara's, so you would put the right one lower and then put the left one up higher. Then once you get them on, just snap them together on the figure, and it's really simple to do that. It's really not a pain in the arse at all. So we do get the crossed arms. Then we do get like a book or a notepad or something, and I don't remember which book this exactly is, but they did a good job with it, so nothing too fancy there. So we do get that. Then we do get the popsicles that he always shares with his student Naruto, and they did a good job with them. I like the blue for the popsicles, and the handles look pretty cool too, so good job with those. So we do get that stuff, and then we finally get 8 interchangeable hands, and one of the hands does have the Rasengan on it. So we do get a pair of fists, of course, which come on the figure out of the packaging, and very nice sculpt detail on these. You can see the thumbnail sculpted on there, and very nice paint work as well wherever there is paint. And the armor on the top of the hand looks pretty cool too. And every time you swap out the hands, you do have to take the armor off, just like with the SH Figuarts Iron Man figures, and they are labeled R and L, so you know which one's for the right hands, which one's for the left hands. And they're very easy to take off and snap on, as you can see right there. And all his hands are very simple to interchange. So we do get a pair of fists, and then we do get a pair of gripping hands, which is meant for him to grip onto the book. And then we do have a peg insert in there for the popsicles. And once again, very nice tiny sculpt detail, like on the fingernails. The fingers look great. And a nice paintwork on the green and the black for the straps for his armor there. So we do get those gripping type hands. And then we do get some open palm type hands here. And once again, very nice job with the tiny sculpt work, like on the fingernails, around the fingers, and even on the palm of the hand. And nice paintwork as well. So we do get those. And then we also get another left open palm hand, but we do get that symbol on it. I forgot what that is. Maybe that's for the summoning jutsu. I'm not 100% sure. I have to go back and watch it, but pretty cool that they did include this left hand, and very nice sculpt and paintwork on that. And then finally we get a left gripping hand that has the Rasengan on it, and this is definitely my favorite Rasengan that we have gotten with any figure between Naruto, Minato, and now Jiraiya. They did a beautiful job with the sculpt of it. I like the blue translucent plastic, and then they threw a little bit of like white paint on it as well, and the hand has some very nice sculpt and paintwork on it, and you can actually remove it because it is just pegged in case you're curious of that. So I do like that you can remove the Rasengan. So I do wish though that they included a pair of jutsu hands at least, or some pointing finger type hands, you know what I mean? So I wish they would have included another set of hands, but that is all the accessories included with Jiraiya Sensei. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review, shall we? Now for the height of Jiraiya Sensei. To the top of his head, it looks like he stands a little bit over 6 inches tall. Then to the very top of his spiky hair, it looks like he stands around 6.5 inches tall. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Minato, Sage Mode Naruto, Rock Lee, and Kakashi. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Itachi Uchiha, the first release Sasuke, Gaara, and Madara Uchiha. And then here he is compared to the Variable Action Heroes Time Skip Luffy, the SH Figuarts, the Dark Knight Batman, the Figma Repainted Edition Guts, and the Super Action Statue Toyohisa Shimazu. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Awakened Warrior Super Saiyan Goku and the Mezco 112 Deadpool. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for the articulation, and we get some really nice movement with this Jiraiya. So his ponytail is on a barbell type joint, so you can move it all around, up and down, side to side, and swivel. So I do like the movement that we get with the ponytail. Then we do have two joints at the neck, and we also get some very nice movement with both of these neck joints. So the upper neck joint, you can get Jiraiya to look up about that much. It does get hindered a bit by the ponytail. And going forward, he looks down about that much, gets hindered a bit by the front of the hair. Then we do get a little bit of pivot there, and then of course swivel the lower neck joint. Very nice forward and back movement, so you can get Jiraiya to look up about that much with both joints, and going down, he pretty much looks down all the way with both joints. Then we do get some nice pivot at the lower neck as well, and then of course it does swivel, so great upper and lower neck movement. Now we do get a point of articulation at the torso right under the chest, but the vest and the scroll does get in the way a bit, just mostly from it going back. So Jiraiya goes forward about that much with that joint, and then going back really doesn't go back too much because it does get hindered by the vest and the scroll, as I said. We do get a little bit of pivot at the torso. It's hard to move it sometimes, but there is some pivot there at the torso, and then of course it does swivel. Now for the waist, the lower part of the gi sometimes goes down, and you can see a gap there, so you might want to shift it up a little bit to hide that gap, but we do get some great waist movement. So Jiraiya crunches forward. I'm just going to show you with both joints, pretty much 90 degrees, so very nice movement at the waist. And then it does go back a tiny bit, gets hindered by the scroll, of course. And then we do get some really nice pivot at the waist there, and then of course it does swivel. So very nice movement at the waist and torso. Now for the arms here, whoops, his face fell off. Let's put that back on there. Now for the arms here, we have a very nice butterfly joint, and you can get the arms to shift forward a lot, but we do have a really big gap there, but you can shift them pretty much all the way forwards. That's probably the best butterfly joint I've seen on an SH Figuarts figure. And then you can move it just a tiny bit in a circular motion at the shoulder there, not too much though. Then the arms do go out to the sides about 90 degrees, so that's good. They do go up and down. We do have the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows that bend in a little more than 90 degrees. Then we do have a ball hinge on the wrist, so it does swivel and hinges back and forth. Now for the legs here, we do get the shifting Tamashii Nation leg joints, where you could shift the legs down a little bit, and Jiraiya can kick forward a little more than 90 degrees, so that is definitely good. They go to the back almost 90 degrees. It is getting hindered a bit by the vest there. And then let's see if he can Jean-Claude Van Damme it. Let's see here. I feel like he could, but the lower portion of his gi and the vest is kind of hindering it a bit. So he kicks out to the side, a little less than 90 degrees. We do get some very nice upper thigh swivel there. Then we do have double jointed knees that bend back pretty much all the way, so that's definitely good. And the joints really don't swivel where it connects into the thigh and lower leg. Now for the ankles here, we do get swivel, of course. They do hinge up a really good amount. They hinge down pretty damn good as well. And then we do have a very nice ankle pivot with Jiraiya here. And then we do have an awesome toe hinge as well. So overall, I think you get some excellent articulation with this Jiraiya. I don't think they could have worked it in any better. And you're going to be able to get him into any type of Jiraiya-like pose that you want. And I'm about to show you some of them right about now. But anyway, that is my review of the SH Figuarts Jiraiya. Hope you enjoyed it. If I had to rate this figure between a 1 through 10, I'd have to give it a 9.5. If you would like to know the price and where to buy this figure, I did have mine imported from Japan from Anime Export, but I know my buddy from Agelessgeeks will be getting this in stock within 3 to 4 weeks once it releases in the US. And when you do buy something from Agelessgeeks.com, don't forget to enter in codename Daredevil, and you will get yourself a 5% off discount. I will put more information in the description below. And if you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification. So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil19 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Bandai Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts Naruto Shippuden JIRAIYA. So let's get into it right away and start off with the box. So we do get a basic style box when it comes to the SH Figuarts Naruto line. So we do get the order right there in the front of the box. On the left side we do get a nice image of the figure. On the right says SH Figuarts, and I believe in Japanese that does say JIRAIYA. On the bottom says Naruto Shippuden, warning, blah 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 blah, Tamashii Nations, and Bandai. And then here is the bottom of the box, just has an image of JIRAIYA's foot and leg there. And then here is the top of the box. And then the one side of it. And then the other side of the box with a nice image of the JIRAIYA figure there. And then the back of it does show a few poses you can get the figure into, along with some of the accessories. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this figure over to take a closer look at, spoilers, a character who had the saddest and most tragic death scene in Naruto. Alrighty, taking a closer detailed look, and Tamashii Nations did such an excellent job with this JIRAIYA. This is definitely one of the best figures in the SH Figuarts Naruto line. I do have a couple issues. My main one is there's no shading on the figure at all, not even on the hair, so to me that is very disappointing. Another thing is I feel like my left leg, I can't shift it all the way up since we have the drop down leg joints, and I feel like it hangs a little bit lower compared to the right one. And then the last one is his hair and scroll. Mostly the scroll makes him a tad bit back heavy, but it's not as bad as you would think it would be. Now for the head sculpt here, I think the face is turned